Wow, that was quick. 5 seconds. Hi, Teri.
Hi there, Mark. How you doing?
Good. Welcome to my co-host, Teri Knight. It's the Soap Dish. Bold
It
and
is.
beautiful style.
Getting sudsy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it, Teri. We got
All
a lot to
right.
cover today.
Yes.
Okay, so dollar bill. I'm going to go back here a little bit. Dollar bill, because I love this scene. This was awesome. Dollar bill. Dollar bill is over at Brookes when he realizes Ridge is going to marry Taylor. You know, he thinks so. I love this scene. Dollar bill makes his best pitch to Brooke as to why she should be with him.
Yeah.
And how wonderful life was with him in the past and could be again.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right, Teri?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It could be great.
You're not falling for it?
No. Come on. And what's weird is I think his ego just can't stand the fact that she says no. And he can't deal with that very well.
Dollar Bill has not had, he fancies himself a pretty good ladies' man. So he can't, you're right, he struggles a little bit with no. Mm-hmm. I'm not interested in you, Dollar Bill.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is the best part of the scene. So Brooke, like I said, tells him, and then Brooke walks away, and Katie enters the story here.
Yeah.
And he moves right to Katie, you know, telling her he wants her back, da-da-da-da-da. Love of his life. And what's funny is Carter's outside hearing all of this.
That was so good. That was so good. And I was so glad. But I thought, are you kidding me, Bill? You are that's just disgusting. What? Oh, man. I was simply appalled. At his
As a
behavior.
woman, I can understand why.
Yes.
All right, so the big storyline that we're dealing with, and we got a lot of things to cover here, is the big storyline is Ridge and Taylor are getting married.
Yeah.
Or are they?
Yeah.
We're about
exactly.
to find out. Mm-hmm. All right, so just prior to the wedding, Douglas, you know, the kid's got a moral compass. He's bothered that his father, Thomas, used his phone app to call CPS, Child Protective Services. Mm-hmm. Good scene.
Yeah.
Steffy comes into the bedroom where he's kind of hanging out before the wedding at the Forrester mansion. And I like this scene because it seemed pretty realistic because he didn't come right out with it. You know, Steffy had to do kind of a line of questioning. Mm-hmm. And then finally, Douglas ends up opening up and shows her the app, kind of goes through the whole thing. So that was interesting.
That was a really good scene. I really liked the way the two of them interacted. I thought that seemed very genuine and touching.
Yeah.
Because she was great.
She was great. Mm-hmm. And you and I have talked about this in the past, and this scene further indicates what a good actor Douglas is for a kid, because him, yes. You know, you could feel the emotion with this kid living with this guilt, or you know what I mean, just
that
the whole moral.
Weight. Yes.
He did a really good job.
He did.
And then next we have Taylor walking into the room. I believe, if I'm remembering my sequence correctly.
Thomas came in first.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Thomas came in kind of in the middle of that conversation.
Yes.
And tried to shut it down unsuccessfully. But trying to convince everyone to just, it's the wedding's going to happen.
Just let it be.
Just let it happen, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was good. Then Taylor walks in shortly after that.
Yeah.
And we go through the story a third time.
Yes.
And this storyline was interesting to me because I wasn't quite sure how Taylor was going to play this, but Teri, if I was a betting person, I would have said she's going to tell Ridge.
Yes.
This thing didn't play out the way I thought it would.
Yeah. I was surprised. I thought that Taylor would say something, and when she didn't, it was like, oh my God. Yeah. And then poor Steffy, because Douglas is sitting there,
right,
kind of judging. Well,
yeah,
now
I'm sure
what?
He's thinking, does anybody in this family have a moral compass?
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, so good for Steffy. Had the guts to stand up and you know, face the music, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she lets it all out of the bag. Taylor, I think she had said a couple times, Teri, did I hear this right, that she had said she was going to tell him the next day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. She wanted to marry him because, well, I think in that moment, I'm going to give her a little bit of grace just because she so desperately wants him, mm-hmm. and that she was just really hoping that he actually did want her for her, because he said it. He said it had nothing to do with Brooke, but we all know it did. Mm-hmm. But she really wanted to believe it. So I kind of get where she's at. She knows she made a mistake. She should have absolutely told him. But I think I get it. And I think she should be forgiven for not in that moment, you know, because I don't know. Here's the other thing, though. If she tells him the next day, does she really think that he's going to still want her? Because he was pretty pissed that she didn't say it.
Yeah.
So
hurt and pissed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, there's really no way out of that box. But in her defense, I think you're right in that she didn't. What did she have? 30 seconds.
Yeah.
A couple of minutes to kind of contemplate her decision before the wedding actually started. If she'd had a night, even overnight, to think about it, I think she'd have went a different direction. Yeah.
I do too.
She would have told him.
I think you're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So the ceremony begins, just to back up here a step, the ceremony begins with Carter, the officiant, as always, Teri.
Yes.
Married everybody on the Bold and Beautiful at least once.
Yes.
So I always pause on these scenes because when they get to that line about if anybody objects, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you know.
Here we go.
Here we go. And sure enough, that's when Steffy, as you mentioned already, interjected and said, I object, and then told the whole story. So that was interesting. Mm-hmm. And I still thought maybe Taylor was going to be the one to object here at this point. But she did, like you said, she didn't.
Yeah.
All right. So after that, Ridge starts to question everybody as to when everybody kind of knew. Yeah. Like Steffy, when did you know? And then Taylor, like you said, when did you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's going to blow it for her. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
So then, and I had to rewind this about 5 times, Teri, because I couldn't figure out what Ridge said. Right when he just kind of uttered something and then he went out the door. You remember?
It's got to make it right.
I got to make it right. I couldn't figure out what the heck he was saying. I had to rewind it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Yep.
So now he goes over to Brooke's house, and this didn't go as I expected, I got to tell you. So he lays it all out for Brooke, and Brooke, I thought she was going to I thought she might do a cartwheel, but she was really pissed off.
And you know what? She's right.
She is right.
I was really impressed by her reaction. That was a good speech she gave, and she's correct. He didn't even give her a chance. He didn't even say, what he thought he knew. Just expect somebody to just blurt out that, oh yeah, I did that. You got to give somebody an opportunity, and he really didn't give her an opportunity because she asked over repeatedly. And if she had done it, I think she would have admitted doing it, having been asked that many times. So I kind of applaud that decision that she just, buddy, you got to figure it out.
Yeah, I liked her line, Terry. I can't remember her exact wording, but she said something like, I'm really happy with where I am and who I am," that kind of thing.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, you need to decide, well, she said that. Do you want me or do you want Taylor?
Yeah. Well, to immediately, there was he just went from Brooke directly to Taylor. And if you're Taylor, I'd be going, wait a minute, what happened? And like she had laid it out to him when he was kind of upset with her for not saying. And she said, you made promises to me that it was me, that it had nothing to do with Brooke or something she'd done. Mm-hmm. And the fact is, it had everything to do with what he thought she did. But Thomas has been...
He lied to Taylor about that.
Well, yes, he did. And he is still adamant that what he did was right. He's going to be scary.
Thomas, yeah.
He's going to be
Thomas
scary.
There's a guy, you and I have talked a lot about this over the years, and that is, he's in his phase right now where he's not in touch with reality.
Right. Yep. Ooh. Okay.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you something, because this has been driving me nuts. So we've seen episode, Terry, after episode where we get Ridge at the end of the show. Well, even during the half an hour show, but at the end a lot, where he's either with Brooke or he's with Taylor, and they're asking him a really, tough question. And he does this. He goes, "That's it." I'm like, what the hell? At some point here, buddy, are you gonna give us something?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm very upset right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't act well.
Really?
Really? Hey, Terry, can you tell I wasn't in the high school play?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that. I'm not going to.
Anyway, how many shows have we been through where it's just crazy?
I know. It is.
He just sits there with this dumb look on his face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway. All right. I had my chance to vent with you about it.
That's good. Get it off your chest.
Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
This is therapy as much as it's anything as we've talked about.
Yes.
All right. So, as we mentioned, Brooke's really pissed off. And I thought, oh, my God, Rich, because I thought for sure he would say, I want to come home, Brooke. I want to come home. He didn't even give us that today.
No.
He's like, I need time to think about it.
Yeah. Well, you take all the time you need, pal.
Well, you'd have kicked him out on his ass.
Yeah. Get out.
Yep. Pack your bags or I'll have them packed for you
you're
at
out
the
of
front
here.
door.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I may not even pack them.
Just throw it all out in the fridge.
Just throw it out.
Hey, Terry, I had been to a few calls like that in past years.
Oh, I'll
Police
bet
calls.
you have. I'll bet
where it's
you
like,
have.
I threw my husband's stuff out in the yard. Or the husband calls and says, she just threw all my stuff in the yard. Well, she can do that.
Yes, she can.
All right, so I think that's where we left off. So let's move into predictions. That's kind of how it ended today.
Yes.
Do you want to start?
So you want to...
Don't matter.
I'll start with one
Okay.
that I think is going to happen. And it's, I think Ridge is going to marry Taylor.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Wow.
And I'm just going to make that prediction. Then I want to hear what you have to say. And then I might have additional. I have some reasons why I think that will happen.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just tag on to your prediction, and I will say that I'm predicting he's going to marry Brooke.
Okay.
Because they're officially divorced now, I believe.
Yeah.
That thing went final.
Annulled. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I think he's gonna choose Brooke, but I also think that our friend Bradley Bell, our favorite writer on the Bold, he's gonna drag this out for a while.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get a lot of scenes where I'm going to get more of this from Ridge. when he's with Taylor or Brooke.
Yes. All right. Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm actually hoping that he does marry Taylor. And
because you're tired
I wanted
of the
to make that. Yes. And because I also think that it will lend itself to other parts of the storyline here, which include Bill and Deacon. And Deacon with Sheila. Because you know how much she hates Brooke. So if Brooke is still free and has stood up for herself, there's going to be problems. So in my view is that, okay, this is going way out there. Sheila is going to team up with Thomas to take Brooke out. That's what I think.
Think about that for a minute.
I don't know how that will work, but he's just as batshit as she is. So, but she's really good at she's smarter than he is. The two of them, if they teamed up,
That's really good.
Thank you. I just see there are a lot of different avenues they could go with this if he marries Taylor. Because we all know Taylor's going to get hurt again. But do we really want her off the show yet? I don't think so.
Hey, Teri, not this co-host.
That's why I'm hoping it goes this way, because I know you got to have your Taylor fix. So
I like that, though, because that's brilliant, because the two people that are crazy teaming up, and Brooke is going to be both of their nemesis.
Yes.
Because she's in the way for Sheila as well, because you're right, she's so jealous of him because of Deacon.
Yes.
That's good.
And, yeah. And Bill's going to be frothing at the mouth. So, and Katie's out, which is great. I hope that because ick. But, yeah.
Do you think Katie and Carter will get something going?
I do. I don't know that it'll be... it's not going to be Carter and Quinn, that's for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Katie just, Oh, you want to get that?
Okay. We're getting a call in the studio.
Yeah. They want to weigh in.
It showed up as Bradley Bell from a California address.
Saying, hey, he likes my idea.
He said, that Terry Knight, I like that. I'm going to work that into the storyline.
That's right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. So do you have anything else?
Well, let me think. I'm going to look at my list here quick.
I'll make another prediction. That Hope is going to find out about this, and she's going to take full custody of Douglas.
Yes.
But
that's good.
Or Stephanie will step in and say, no, I want full custody.
I could see either of those happening, or both, actually.
Yes.
I could see it starting out with Hope trying to get custody, and then, you're right, and then Steffi stepping in. I can see that.
Yeah.
So my other co-host had read something. So for those that don't want to hear spoiler alert, should plug their ears. Luann has read or heard somewhere that how Sheila's going to get caught is Hope hides in the closet at Deacon's apartment. Somehow she ends up in there and hears somebody coming to the door, or, whatever. She ends up hiding in the closet and discovers Sheila coming home, because remember now, Sheila keeps popping out for these visits somewhere. That she's going to be snooping around or something, and then Hope is, in Deacon's apartment.
Yes.
And then Sheila comes home and gets discovered by Hope.
Oh, that's sudsy.
And that might just be speculation, but it sounds like she's seen it a couple times, so don't know.
That sounds really plausible. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Woo.
All right.
Can't wait.
Well, that's a lot, Teri.
It is. Boy, whew, I feel exhausted. What about you?
Me too. Me too.
Okay.
Is it Margarita Wednesday? No, it's Thursday.
No, but I think it's a glass of wine time.
All right. Same here, shortly.
All right.
All right, Teri. Until we dish again.
Oh, keep it sudsy.
And we're out.